All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of This Week Unloaded. And a very happy Easter to all of you out there. Hope you had a good day, spent time with families, and remembered the reason for the day. And yeah, I pretty much did nothing. But yeah, I'm still feeling a bit under the weather, and with my mother in law's health issues, I didn't want to go around her, so I stayed home while they went down. Well, my wife and kids went to the mother in law's for Easter. So I had a nice quiet day at home. So I'm not gonna I'm not gonna complain. Uh, Sometimes just be quiet is a good thing. I did watch some hockey today and some baseball highlights. So there was that. But yeah. So let's see. Who do we got? Oh, yeah. Before I forget, I'm, as usual, your host, Rich White. For those who may be new to the program over on X or Rumble. So, yes. Speaking of X, I don't know if we got anybody over there watching right now or not. So let me go over there and check and look. No, we have nobody over there on X so far. And it says we got one on Rumble, three on YouTube. So four total so far. It's what it's saying. And who I'm seeing on YouTube side right now are Pack Rat's Attic and Two Live Moo. So evening to both of you. Cat is starting to get on my nerves already, but what else is new? As he doesn't know how to shut up. He just has to go around meowing his damn full head off all the time. Cats are annoying. Cats are annoying. What else is annoying is leftists on X. Well, the president the other day and his staff were putting together and executing the rescue of the downed pilot and his weapons operator from the F-15 that was downed. The left on X, a bunch of them. I mean, I got the picture to prove it here. Let me pull this up here, just for shits and giggles. Make sure I got the right X page. Yes, here we go. All right, now go back over here and add this to the stage. And don't want that up there. Whoops, wrong one. This tab. This is the tab I want. Take that off. And I can move me over here. Guys, this is just somebody talking about this is the important part over here on the left side. The right side's not that important, so I'll put myself down in the right hand corner for now. Or I can do this. But yeah. All this over here on the left hand side of the page. All this over here on the left hand side of the page. Except for maybe Red Pill Media. I don't know where they stand anymore. They used to be a fairly conservative. I don't know if they still are or not, but the person who put this image together threw them in with it. But everybody else, these are all people on the left side of the aisle who were claiming because the president closed down the White House while they were carrying out this operation, threw it, just closed the White House down, the media leave. They come up with this idea that somehow the president is in critical condition in Walter Reed Hospital and are saying that there's convoys outside Walter Reed and people can't get in and yada. And all of this ends up getting debunked. It never happened. Trump was never taken to Walter Reed Hospital. He was never in critical condition. People saying that they saw, personally saying, one of them here, right here, this guy over here, Scott Downs, said that he took his son to Walter Reed and there were 11 armed vehicles and it never happened. Never happened. Other people who were curious when they saw these posts went to Walter Reed and said it was a regular average day. People who work at Walter Reed posted that it never happened. So yeah, you get the left trying to cause a panic, saying that the president's in critical condition when the president and the rest of his staff are undertaking a critical rescue operation of 2 of our downed airmen. Fucking douchebags, the whole entire lot of them. The entire lot of them. We got Mr. DM Foss joining us. Hello, sir. You there, Foss? You're muted.
Am I here? Where am I?
You're here now. You're not. So how's your Easter Sunday been?
Pretty good. Went to the range this morning. Found some nickel-plated brass somebody had left laying around.
Ooh, fancy.
It's a good day.
Yeah. Sounds like it. Yeah, on that vein, we had news come out of the state capital for West Virginia, Charleston, West Virginia, earlier this week. Governor Morrisey, obviously our governor, signed into law an expansion of our constitutional carry law, allowing 18 to 20-year-olds to now benefit from West Virginia's constitutional carry law. So that will take effect on June 12th, I believe. So that was kind of cool. I believe he signed that into law on the 2nd. I do have a story pulled up on that. And a couple other bills that he signed too, which were interesting. So let me go over here so we can share this. There we go. So we have from WV News and Charles Young, Deputy Managing Editor, from April 2nd. Newly signed West Virginia laws expand concealed carry, experimental treatments, and worship protections. So first one that it talks about is the experimental medical treatments that have been approved under this first bill that the governor signed.
Is West Virginia creating an army of atomic supermen?
Maybe. Captain America, eat your heart out, right? Charleston, West Virginia, from expanding access to experimental medical treatments to loosening concealed carry restrictions and increasing penalties for disrupting religious services, a slate of newly signed laws is set to bring wide-ranging changes across West Virginia. Governor Patrick Morrisey has signed several bills passed during the 2026 regular legislation session, with many taking effect in mid-June. Together, the measures touch on healthcare access, gun policy, and public safety, reflecting a broader push by lawmakers to expand individual rights while increasing legal protections in certain settings. Among the most notable changes is House Bill 4610, dubbed the Safeguard the Right to Try Cutting Edge Medicine Act, which expands the state's right to try law to include highly individualized treatments tailored to patients' genetic profile. The law allows patients with life-threatening or severely debilitating conditions to seek experimental therapies that have passed initial safety testing but have not received full approval from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Patients must have exhausted approved treatment options and obtain a recommendation from a licensed physician. The measure includes strict informed consent requirements, warning patients of potential risks, including death, and clarifying that insurers are not required to cover their treatments. It also shields providers and manufacturers from liability, provided they comply with the law, and does not require drug makers to offer the treatment. Another newly enacted law, House Bill 4106. Hold on. Okay, 4110. Okay. Same numbers, different order. That's what threw me off. Lowers the age for permitless carry from 21 to 18. Under the change, adult ages 18 to 20 who were not otherwise prohibited from possessing a firearm may carry a concealed weapon without a license, aligning the state's concealed carry rules with its existing open carry law. Previously, individuals in that age group were required to obtain a provisional permit, which you can still get if you want to. But other states don't have to recognize the provisional permit, so there really is no reason to get the provisional permit anymore if you're 18 to 20. As I said, provisional permit didn't necessarily give you reciprocity in other states, like the full permit that you get when you're 21 or older. Restrictions remain in place for certain individuals, including those with felony convictions. Yeah, you get the idea. Those who are prohibited from carry obviously are not going to be allowed to carry under this bill. Lawmakers also approved Senate Bill 1026, which increases penalties for disrupting religious services. Obviously, this comes about because of what we saw in Minnesota, where the protesters went in and were disrupting church services. The law makes it a crime to willfully interrupt or substantially disrupt a religious assembly and raises the maximum jail sentence from 6 months to 1 year. It also establishes fines ranging from $250 to $1,000 per violation. The measure updates outdated language in state code and includes provisions to protect First Amendment rights, allowing protests and other expressive activities as long as they do not interfere with worship services. It also preserves law enforcement authority to restrain offenders and allows courts to require bonds to ensure future compliance. All three bills passed the legislation on March 14th and are scheduled to take effect on June the 12th. Part of a broader package of laws approved during the 2026 session. So that's what we got going on here in this state. For our intents and purposes, the chief among those would be the constitutional carry law.
The way that medical part is worded, it would make me think they're talking either gene therapy or T cells.
Yeah, that would be that's what I would take away from that as well. Any kind of experimental treatments like those.
Well, because it kind of caught me. It seemed a little odd, where it, I forget what the wording was, but basically said treatment specific to that person.
Yeah. The person's genetic makeup, I think, is what the term that they used was, if I remember right. Yeah, basically it's treatments for cancers and maybe something like Lou Gehrig's disease, that kind of thing. Multiple sclerosis, anything that can be affecting somebody's genetic makeup, maybe. Or have that kind of treatment to correct it. Or at least ease the suffering that they cause. So we got Ron 2A Matters out there in the YouTube side. Evening to you, sir. Yeah, I think those are three worthwhile bills for the governor to have signed. Anything like that going on in your neck of the woods, or? Well, I know you guys ain't getting constitutional carry anytime soon, but
We have unconstitutional carry.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We had recently the millionaire's tax, which was passed, which is only supposed to cover millionaires, someone who makes $1 million or more, but it is patently unconstitutional state-wise because the state has a law that says you cannot. I don't remember how it's worded, but basically you can't charge one person differently than another person. There's you can't have a graduated tax for that.
Right.
So it's going to our state Supreme Court, and the question is, will they overturn it saying it's unconstitutional, or will they say you can have it if you apply that tax to everyone?
Well, is it your state constitution or state law that prohibits?
State constitution.
Okay.
So it may be a millionaire's tax that applies to everyone.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason why I was asking, because if it was just a state law, they could also have ruled that this abrogates the prior law. But if it's a constitutional provision, then
Yeah,
it'll
it's
be harder to make that case. Ron 2A says, Happy Easter, everyone. Same to you, sir. I remember there was something else I wanted to talk about tonight, too, and I can't remember what the hell it was now. Oh, did you see where the two Chinese nationals who are U.S. citizens because their mother came over from China to have the kids here, and then she went back over to China with them, and they came back over, and they were just arrested because they attempted to sneak explosives into an Air Force installation and commit a terror attack?
No, I don't think I saw that.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what Air Force installation it was. But yeah, they were arrested and they're being charged with under the terrorism laws. Yeah, their mother. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I did watch I listened to the Supreme Court arguments for birthright citizenship, and the case law being relied on had to do with Chinese citizens that had a child in the U.S. back in like the 20s or something. I don't remember how old that case goes back to.
Yeah, they're calling it where they come over here specifically, they had their kids and then go back over to China. They're calling it tourism birth or something along those lines. But yeah, it brings the question, should that case right there, it's a perfect example of why you got people saying that we need to eliminate birthright citizenship as what it's been understood to be, even though incorrectly understood to be, because that was not the point of the 14th Amendment. If you look at what the congressman who first submitted the bill way back in the 1800s had stated the purpose of the bill was that eventually created the 14th Amendment. It was to protect the former slaves who were born here from being potentially shipped back over to Africa against their will. That was the entire point of that section of the 14th Amendment, and it's been abused, to say the least.
For Two Live Moo, I'd just like to say, ancient Chinese secret, huh? He'll get it.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the story. I know I had it shared on X. I'm trying to find it. Dang it. It was yesterday, so I got so much stuff that was put from today that it might take me a few minutes to find it. So bear with me here, folks.
I don't really follow the news, and I'm a lot happier for it. Hello, Boomstick.
Boomstick out there?
Yeah.
He's not showing up on my... Let me refresh that, reload that. Yeah, he's not showing up on mine.
Really, I got him on both the Rumble and I got the YouTube open.
Yeah, I got YouTube open. He's not showing up on there.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I see him now. There's Gary, too.
Gary's been out there for a while.
Well, I haven't seen him either. My YouTube chat is frozen.
You didn't see him? You chose not to see him.
No, I don't see him. The last comment I see is when Ron 2A Matters said Happy Easter, everyone, on the YouTube chat itself. The hell? And I've refreshed it, and it's still only showing Ron 2A Matters. What the hell? I don't know. The other one's working. Yep. There's Justin Grimm out there.
Patriot in the Dark is out there.
Is he? There's Rob, New York Outcast. Yeah, I'm like not seeing a bunch of people on the YouTube. I go over to the Rumble studio and I can see him, but the other one I can't. I don't see him. I never saw Patriot, and he's right at the top. What the hell? Yeah, this is what the hell's going on with YouTube? YouTube being YouTube. Even when I open up the page on YouTube itself, I'm not even showing us being live on YouTube. What in the? My YouTube is all screwed up for some reason. What in the hell? Is it working now?
So if Rich didn't say hi to you, he's having technical difficulties, or he just doesn't like you.
No, definitely technical difficulty. I think I got it fixed now. I had to completely close YouTube and reopen it.
And did you say hi to Vanessa Kitty?
No, because I hadn't noticed she was out there.
Or Artak is out there?
Well, good evening to everybody who's out there who I may have missed, because we are having serious. I'm having serious issues.
There's no right we. Now. You are having problems.
Collective we.
The royal we.
Yes, exactly. Anyway,
didn't even say hello to Gary. Oh,
I did mention Gary.
He was here, and then they left. You didn't say hi. You offended him.
When did he pop in? When I was refreshing the YouTube page?
He was just there.
There he is.
Again. I see him.
Yes, he's here. He's muted.
I am.
Yeah, you were.
I've been trying to get in here. I've been having browser issues. I had to restart my browser.
Yeah. It's like you're having browser issues. I'm having YouTube issues. It's like, what the hell's going on?
It's Muslims, I tell you.
It must be.
Somebody had to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, the latest terror attack, crazily, isn't Muslims. It was Chinese people. I don't know if you saw that one, Gary.
No.
Yeah, a couple of Chinese who were born here, but in tourism birthing or however they refer to it. Their mother came here, had them, then took them back to China. Well, they came back and they tried blowing up Air Force installation.
They weren't kung fu fighting, were they?
No, they were kung fu blowing things up.
They were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening.
And I'll bet they fought with expert timing, too. Possibly. Very good timing. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, before Foss alerted me to what was people saying things on YouTube that I wasn't seeing because my YouTube thing wasn't working, I was trying to find the story about the two Chinese nationals who are technically U.S. citizens. But yeah, I'm going to be here all day trying to find that from yesterday.
Probably.
Ozzy is out there.
Evening, Ozzy. And I don't know if you guys were here when I was touching on leftists who were claiming that Donald Trump was in the hospital during the operation to get the second airman from the down to F-15 because they cleared the White House and locked the White House down where they were doing it. So
they tried. You catch in the privacy of your own home is your business.
A bunch of them were saying that he was brushed to Walter Reed, and it turns out that wasn't true at all.
So what's your bracket about?
I don't have a bracket.
Well, what kind of show is this?
Hey, at least I haven't had my show stopped yet, like somebody else on Thursday did. You ever figure out what possibly caused that?
No.
Are you in the bathroom, Gary?
I am not. Why?
You have an echo. Like you're in a bathroom echo, not a reverb echo.
Yeah, an environmental echo, not a technical echo. Oh, while I'm looking for the other one.
Hello.
Hello.
Any better now?
Yes.
Yeah.
My mic got switched over. I was inadvertently talking to a microphone that was 2 feet from me. Not sure why.
Outside the bathroom?
Outside the bathroom, incredibly.
Yeah, but I haven't found the Chinese store yet, but I did find another one that's interesting.
Moo got his credit card hacked or his bank account hacked. That ain't good.
That's not good.
No.
I think it was his card.
We got this from Department of Homeland Security 2 days ago. Or no, yesterday. No, yesterday. Okay. It happened 2 days ago. What they're talking about. But yes, was put out by the Department of Homeland Security yesterday, saying on April 3rd, ICE officers in Los Angeles arrested Hamida Soleimani Afshar and Sarin Asadat Hosseini, the niece and grandniece of Qasem Soleimani, the late head of the Quds Force of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, who was killed by a drone strike ordered by President Trump in 2020. Apparently, both of them were living here on tourist visas, and they had their green cards revoked and are in the process of being deported back to Iran. Yeah, apparently they were here on asylum, and they've more than once gone back to Iran and then came back since then. So the State Department is like, no, you can't do that. They're kicking them out. They're kicking them out.
Need to put them in an asylum.
Mm-hmm. Well, look at Iran right now. But yeah, there was that story.
How's your Pirates doing? First place yet?
They swept the Orioles this weekend. I watched some of the highlights. They beat them, was it 9-2, I think, today?
We lost. Our pitching is very suspicious right now, and relief pitching is practically non-existent.
Pirates pitching looked pretty damn good in what I've seen. It's like, holy shit. I was shocked.
A couple days ago, I believe we had an 11-2 lead over the Twins going into the ninth inning and ended up winning the game by 2 runs.
The announcer said the Pirates are on a 4-game winning streak right now. Oh. Here's a story that's connected to the Chinese that tried to attack the Air Force Base, but it says that feds busted 20 maternity hotels in California for birth tourism scam. Chinese women flew in illegally to give birth for U.S. citizenship. Operators charged up to $80,000 each. This is why birthright citizenship needs to end. There we go. Yeah, this is from Chad Prather. If you know who Chad Prather is.
That or we should be a little bit more conscious of who's coming into the country, sounds like to me, and why.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Back over here. Put that on the screen. Go back. Yeah, but brother and sister planted a bomb at MacDill Air Base on March 10th were born in the U.S. to Chinese illegal aliens. And then Mike Lee's talking about it, Senator Mike Lee. Apparently it happened back on March 10th, but the story got out a couple days ago that it happened. They tried to bomb an Air Force base on U.S. soil. Whoever they were, subject to the jurisdiction thereof, it wasn't the United States of America. Because that's the terminology that's used in the 14th Amendment, in case anybody's wondering. But yeah, the Chinese Americans, they tried to explode an IED at MacDill Air Base Visitor Center in Tampa, Florida. And their parents were also arrested for illegal entry on March 8th. Parents were arrested on March 18th. So they were arrested 8 days after the attempted bombing. The parents applied for asylum in 1993, but were denied. And they were supposed to have been deported back in 1998. And they just never left. So, and people wonder why you got people wanting this birthright citizenship nonsense ended. It's things like this. What do you guys think on that one? Hello?
As I said, if they just pay a little bit more attention to who's coming into the country and why, this wouldn't be an issue. I mean, birthright citizenship probably had a purpose at the time it was created, but this certainly wasn't it. And if we're just letting people, anybody and their buddy, come into this country and have a baby, that doesn't sound so much like a legal issue as it is, a customs immigration issue. It's like, no, if you don't have a legitimate reason to be here, go away.
And make sure people that you order to be deported actually get deported. Might help too, right? I mean, their parents were ordered to be removed in 1998, and they were still here. What's your take, Foss?
Sure.
Short and to the point. Yeah, I mean, we get this birthright citizenship issue. Immigration laws not being enforced. Deportation orders not being enforced. And we wonder why we have what should amount to foreign nationals trying to set off IEDs at Air Force installations.
I mean, you said the magic word, laws aren't being enforced.
Mm-hmm.
When you've got protections in place and they aren't being used, then we can't act too surprised when it causes problems. And the solution to said is, to me, obvious. Maybe I'm just not seeing the whole picture. I don't know. To me, it's a
Well,
simple problem.
would it make a difference? Because it's a civil infraction. Would it make a difference if they changed that? Would it be enforced better if it became a criminal infraction?
Well, there is part of the immigration code that is a criminal infraction. There's, you guys stop to think also that if you're in the country illegally, at some point, you've committed fraud, which is also a criminal infraction. So there are criminal infractions that are being committed by people who are in the country illegally.
And the next time we have a new rocket design we need to test, let's just send some of these people up, see if they survive.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
You just volunteered for testing. Congratulations.
Ozzy says he feels the newborn citizenship is the same as the parents, regardless of where they were born. And that's the way it should be. If your parents are Chinese and you're born here, that doesn't make you an American. That makes you Chinese because that's what your parents' citizenship is. If your parents immigrated to the country legally, and were legally here and you were born here, then you can make the case for being an American citizen. But if your parents aren't here legally,
What about green card holders, where they are here legally, but they're not citizens?
it depends on if they're trying to become citizens or not. Is how I would look at it. If they're not, if they're just expatriates who are keeping their citizenship in their other country, but they're living here on a work visa or what have you, then no, I wouldn't say their kids should automatically be U.S. citizens. They should be given the same legal status as the parent. In other words, they should be given the green card with the same style type of visa as the parent has. If, on the other hand, their parents are seeking citizenship and going through the process, then yeah, the kids could then be said to be citizens of this country because the parents are attempting to become such.
I don't really have an opinion on it. It's just something I just thought of while we were talking.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's how I would look at it if I were having to draw up a solution to this issue. Because then, even if like I said, the parents are here on a work visa, that still gives our kids the right to be in the country. We don't keep the parents here and deport the kids. You know what I mean? Because that would just be silly. Yeah, whatever status immigrationally the parents have, that should be what's applied to the child that's born here. Well, that'd be kind of hard to do, Rob. They don't have pockets and diapers. No, the parents would have to keep custody of the card, and it would be on file with schools and whatnot. Stop sharing that. Patriots asking if we heard about the ring of military guys that were getting paid to marry foreign women down in Florida. No, I have not heard about that one. He said
That's nothing new.
No, wouldn't surprise me. No, because there's people that get paid all the time for that kind of thing. It's one of the scams that goes around every so often.
I knew a guy. This was back in the '90s, early '90s. He was from Hong Kong, going to the Washington State University, and he had offered a girl, I think, $125,000 to marry him so he could stay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not surprised at all by that. That's an old scam that's been going on for a long time, which is one of the reasons why the government, whenever you have somebody marrying a foreign national, is supposed to investigate and look into to
You
root
have
out
to
those
write.
kinds of.
There's a lot of stuff you have to fill out.
Mm-hmm.
Your backstory, how you met, all kinds of stuff. It's a lot of paperwork.
Yeah, you would know. You've gone through it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they highly discourage you from doing it. Especially because we got married in Japan, and State Department's like, where I don't know, I don't remember who it was, what office we were in, but they're like, oh, if you get married, the records will be over here, and anytime you need a record, you'll have to come back here to get the record. Okay. was interesting that while we were doing that, we met another couple, and the guy was from Hawaii. And I looked at what I wrote, and then I looked at what he wrote. And he wrote like a timeline. You know, we met here, we did this, we did that, we did that. Mine, I basically wrote a story of, how we met and the time we spent together.
I've heard from other people, like you were saying, there's a lot of paperwork and a lot of time that's consumed and a lot of money.
And our wedding license is in Japanese, so there's times where we have to get it translated. We've had to do that a couple times to submit it for whatever documents.
Mm-hmm. Is there like an agency or something that you go to for that purpose, or do you got to find a translator who's authorized by the government for that purpose, or how's that work?
I don't remember, because that was a while ago. That was probably 20 years ago at least. Last time we had to do it. As I remember, whatever it was, I don't even remember what it was for, but they're like, well, we need a copy of your marriage license. And so I sent them a copy of our marriage license. And then I got a response saying, well, we need it translated into English.
You'd think that the federal government might have translators with the ability to do that. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
The DMV has pamphlets in like 5 different languages.
Mm-hmm. That depends on the state. Here, it's all in English because West Virginia has passed a law where English is the official language of the state. So anything on the state level is going to be in English alone. Like if you go to any state agency, you go to the state welfare, the HHR to apply for welfare, you go to DMV, any of that kind of stuff, it's only in English.
Is it English or hillbilly English?
No, it's English. Well, we don't use what they do over in England because they're weird with their spelling, putting U's and everything. Moose says they almost didn't get their marriage license. There was a bomb threat that day. Damn. Where'd you go? Detroit to get your marriage license? What'd you say, Foss?
I said he should have called it in earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was Moo's fault. He was calling in the bomb threat to try and clear out the place so they didn't have to wait in line. Patriot says, looking back, that sounds a lot easier than what he went through with his exes.
I think Gary commiserates with you.
Mm-hmm.
I did what with who?
You
I never did
commiserate
such
with
a thing.
You commiserate with a Patriot over the whole ex-wife thing.
Probably.
So what else we got going on? Hackrat says soon England will be speaking Arabic. It's only in certain sections. Just like here, we got Dearborn and Hamtramck. They have Luton and parts of London. There's also a town in Jersey.
If it's Farsi, they're probably okay. That'd be the Saudis.
No, Farsi would be Arabic. It would be Iranians and Afghanis. They're the ones that speak Farsi. It would be Arabic in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, Iraq, well, parts of Iraq. Parts of Iraq also speak Farsi. One areas that border Iran. Kuwait, that would be Arabic. Dubai.
Oh, it's Persian. Farsi is Persian. That's why.
Yeah.
Not Arabic.
Moo says Hamtramck needs more pork. Probably get arrested if you took pork into Hamtramck now, Moo. I remember, I think Dearborn mostly like Palestinian. I don't know the makeup of what was put in Hamtramck, but up in Minnesota they got the Somalians, and then they put the so-called Palestinians into Dearborn, to the point where Dearborn has streets that are named for Islamic terrorists. Packrat saying Charles, as in King Charles, refused to deliver an Easter address for the first time ever. Yeah, not only that, but he also delivered an address for the end of Ramadan, which really pissed a lot of people off because he gave a speech for the end of Ramadan, or an official address for the end of Ramadan, but not for Easter, when he, as the King of England, is the titular head of the Anglican Church. That pissed a lot of people off. That's something that's been going around on X all day today.
What are they going to do? War of the Roses Part 2?
I don't know. Rob says he's still stuffed from ham. I had chicken, roast chicken. Lou says he's like ramen dom noodles. Not quite the same thing, though. Ramadan, where you fast by gorging yourself after the sun goes down. But the good news is they did get recovered both of the downed airmen. And of course, you got people on the left throwing a fit because it cost us 2 transport planes to do it. But you know what? Like, oh hell, I forget who it was on X today, said that 2 American lives are worth more than 2 transport aircraft. Patriots asking, any new news on Empty? Huh? You guys know what he's talking about?
Are you running on empty?
I don't know. Almost.
Come on, Gary.
Moo says he fasted after eating corned beef and bacon wrapped water chestnuts today. Packard said he had pork roast for dinner. I don't know. Patriots talk to type is
MT.
MT.
Mike Tango.
Yeah.
Midget tossing?
Oh, midget tossing.
No, there you go.
There we go. Yeah. It just wasn't clicking. No. Don't have anything new about midget tossing. No. Pack rat's like offending Jews, I guess, now. He did pork roast with Israeli couscous in the pressure cooker. Sounds good, but because couscous is good. I don't know if you've ever had it before.
It's all right.
Pork isn't something that you traditionally see served with it, though. But yeah, sounds good. Lou said he barbecued 2 pork tenderloins yesterday. We had Mongolian barbecue steak over rice yesterday.
Mongolian. Wow.
Mm-hmm. That's what they call
Mongo
Mongolian style, but
Mongo
really,
like steak.
Mongo just pawn in the game of life.
mm-hmm. Better watch out, big guy. Mongo's got the, Mongo straight. Apparently, Moo lives in the African savannah. He says he's got a bunch of hyenas around him. Patriots asking, geez, how low has this show sunken? Well, if you're talking about the midget tossing thing, you're on the wrong show. That was the wrestling show, which we don't even do anymore.
If he'd watch us every week, he'd know how low this show is.
Yeah, that too.
This is nothing new.
Well, we've been lower.
There are established standards, and then there's Rich.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh, this is nothing
show-
compared to the stuff we did 7-8 years ago.
No.
This show is measured by a limbo bar.
Mm-hmm.
Some people cancel their streams, others just keep going.
Packer says, Israeli couscous is like the size of rice. He says, by the way, Miss Packer Jewish. Yeah, we know. We know. You've told us before. But it's still pork mixed with the Israeli couscous. I couldn't pass up the joke.
Wow.
Well, is it? Never mind. I withdraw the statement.
Moose has 2 adult children and their boyfriends. Hold up. Are you saying your son's gay, Moo? Is that why he got divorced? Just asking for clarity on that one.
His son's not gay, but the dude he's banging is.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
The fence dad's out there. Meaning to you. Oh, Moose says he's a pole smoker. Ooh. Yeah.
Turd burglar.
Mm-hmm. Patriot said he had a homemade gyro or gyro, however you want to pronounce it.
Euro.
I've heard Greeks that weren't sure exactly how it was pronounced, to be perfectly honest with you.
Just because somebody's hairy doesn't mean they're Greek.
It does if you're going to the Greek Orthodox Church Food Festival and there were actual native Greek people there and they weren't sure how it's pronounced. And I was at the Greek Orthodox Church, by the way, in Pittsburgh that my stepfather's mother attended.
Well, it's
Her
all
family
Greek
was
to
Greek.
me anyway.
Mm-hmm. Hackra says he knows she's a bad Jew.
Fence
That
dads out
says, yeah, I know. I already said that. Yeah, he said they had taco pizza for dinner. It's an interesting choice for Easter dinner.
I had Mexican food yesterday. It was good.
We had a hot pocket.
Pockets.
What kind?
Pepperoni.
Mm.
I prefer the ham and cheese, but they always split. They always have, and I believe they always will.
They're not as good as they
Probably.
used to be.
No, they're not.
They used to really be good years ago.
Yeah, they keep changing the crust and crap. It's like, what the hell?
Well, if they don't split, then you take a bite into them and immediately fry the inside of your mouth
Mm-hmm.
with volcanic lava that comes out of the inside of there.
Yes.
At least with a split, you got a little bit of an opportunity for it to vent and cool down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way. Did you ever have bagel bites?
Yes.
I have. It's been a while.
They were nuclear hot when they came out and stayed hot for a long, long time.
Yeah. The fence dad said his kid had a big Easter dinner at lunchtime, so wasn't very hungry and he wasn't making a big dinner just for himself. Makes sense. We got Denny's plant-based journey out there evening, Denny. I wonder if my YouTube chat's still working or if it's decided to break again. No, it's still working.
I'm trying to understand Denny's plant-based journey and his affinity for Chick-fil-A. Do they have plant-based chicken at Chick-fil-A?
They put lettuce on it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I'm not a fan of their chicken sandwiches.
I'm really not either. And like I've said other places, every time I go to Chick-fil-A, they get my order wrong.
Their breakfast sandwiches are really good, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, the seasoning on the sandwiches I just don't care for. I don't know if it's I didn't grow up with it. We've only had a Chick-fil-A for a few years around here.
I
But
think it's overrated.
I would prefer, KFC's chicken sandwich, or even
Wendy's hot and spicy chicken sandwich is good.
Yes, it
the
is.
old school Burger King sandwich, the kind of.
I've never been a fan of Burger King's chicken sandwiches.
I'm not saying they're good. I just like them.
Popeyes has a good chicken sandwich. I don't know if you've ever had theirs.
No, there aren't any Popeyes around here.
Mm. I don't think that's possible, Moo. I don't know if he typoed or what.
It's if it's warm and wet, he's into it. Whatever.
That goes back to an episode that we did quite a few years ago now. The whole Japanese food episode. Then he says KFC is horrible, dirty, super slow, and poorly run.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. I think that's just KFC in general anymore. They've let their standards go so bad as a chain.
It's a shame. Used to be a good chain back in the day.
Moo says naked sushi and other things, Moo, that we're not getting into tonight. Rob says KFC lost their damn minds. Defense Dad says Popeyes has the best chicken sandwich around his area. Arby's has a pretty good chicken sandwich if they're still doing it. Their buffalo chicken sandwich was really good.
I'll usually get their chicken cordon bleu. But Red Robin's, they have a pretty good chicken sandwich.
I've never had Red Robin's chicken sandwich. I usually get a burger if we go there. Rob's talking about they act like a bucket of chicken is gold now. Talking about places where you get a bucket of chicken. I don't know. I haven't been there in a while since all the hullabaloo with them changing everything. But Cracker Barrel used to have really good fried chicken. And yeah, you could get the big bucket of fried chicken kind of thing at a Cracker Barrel. At least you used to be able to. I don't know if they still do it or not. But their chicken was really good. But they've changed their cooking and stuff. So I don't. Like I said, it's been a while since I've been to one. It's been over a year since I've been to Cracker Barrel. In fact, the last time I went to Cracker Barrel, it was with Chris from the 740 and his son at the Great American Outdoor Show.
There aren't any around here.
Defense Dad says Arby's has good buffalo chicken sliders. Yeah, just picture the buffalo chicken sliders because I've had those too, but bigger, and that's basically their buffalo chicken sandwich. They bathe the chicken fillet in buffalo sauce. I mean, it's good. It's good. But Denny said he had a heart attack a couple years ago, or 14 years ago, and he said the plant-based diet put him in better health, dropped a bunch of weight, brought his cholesterol and blood pressure way down. He said he hasn't been on the program in a couple years, and it shows in his vitals and weight. He said he has to get back to it so he doesn't end up in the emergency room again. Yeah. That's not a good thing, that's for sure. Rob says he has a restaurant in his area where you can get all you can eat barbecue chicken dinner for $21. Damn, that's not bad price at all. But KFC wants $38 for a 10-piece. Mm-hmm.
I can't eat 10 pieces of chicken.
Well, no, that would last you
Eat
all
them all
week.
at once.
Oh, you'd have lunch for the rest of the week, Gary. Come on. Moon says he had a heart attack once. He called Chuck Norris and he told him to rub dirt on it.
A friend of mine, I think he's had 3. His first one was, forget which city, and he was over in Iraq doing, setting up communication centers and stuff. And he said he's walking down the dirt road and woke up at and what's that base in Germany? Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein's a video game.
Yeah, I know. It's Wolfen something.
Yeah.
U.S. base.
I can't think of it right now. I know what one you're talking about. I just can't think of the name of it right now.
Yeah, he said he's walking down the road. Next thing he knew, he woke up. He's in the hospital. In Germany.
Then he says you can't get barbecue around there for less than $30 per person. The beef is very expensive right now. Ground beef is about $10 per pound there. Steaks are much worse. Wow.
Should it be cheaper?
Huh?
Doesn't he live where they're lousy with cows?
You would think. What Texas is known for, right?
Steers and queers.
Fence Dad said he's not supposed to eat fried food anymore, though. Damned Wilford Brimley disease. Oh, you got diabetes.
Diabetes. Ramstein. That's where he was. Not Wolfenstein. Ramstein.
Mm-hmm. Wolfenstein was a fun game back in the day. Started the whole first-person shooter deal.
That was Doom.
Doom came after. Wolfenstein 3D were in the 80s. Doom was in the early 90s. Used to play Wolfenstein 3D on a Windows PC running Windows 3.1 back in the day. That was before Doom came out.
Wolfenstein 3D was released in 92. Doom was 93.
Yeah, and Wolfenstein, the first one, Wolfenstein 3D was the sequel. The first Wolfenstein was like in 88, 89, if I remember right.
Yeah, I had my first computer was one I got from my mom when she upgraded, and it was a 286 that was upgraded to run Windows 3.0.
Let me guess, it had the memory upgraded to a whole megabyte.
I don't remember. All I did was play Minesweeper, Solitaire, and like a couple shareware games. Oh, that's when I figured out you could download CDs onto a computer.
Mm. Yeah, Moose Tigers lost. So you're not alone, Gary. Your team's not the only team that lost today. My God, I can actually brag that my hometown baseball team won today. Woohoo!
I
I don't know
actually
how long
paid
that's
for the
going to last.
TV package so I could watch my team lose. That's how pathetic it is.
I just watched the highlights on YouTube.
Could have got MLB TV free through T-Mobile, but I forgot to do it before the cutoff.
Pirates are in third place right now. Well, it's tied for second, really. They're 6-3. All three losses on the road. 3-0 versus at home, which were all against the Orioles this weekend. They're a game back of the Brewers, tied with the Reds. Like I said,
We're,
who knows? I don't know. I don't think that's probably going to last long, but that's what it is right now.
we're tied for third with the White Sox. Yeah. Who do we got next? Oh, we got to go to Cleveland tomorrow, playing the Guardians. Our first road trip. This will be fun.
I don't know who the Pirates play next. Oh, they play the Padres at home tomorrow. That young kid they got on the Pirates playing shortstop, he's been playing pretty good. He's played the 3 games, I think now. He's he's played pretty well for only being a 19-year-old. I mean, he's only in high school. What 1-2 years ago? He's in the majors. I think they said he was 19. I think that's what the announcer said today. What was his name? Colin something or other. Colin Griffin, I think is what his name is. Packer said the Cubbies are in last place as usual. Then he says the Rangers were swept by the Reds today. Then he also said he pays for Victory Plus for $100 per year and gets to watch the Rangers and the Dallas Stars. Leisure Suit Larry. They're still making Leisure Suit Larry games. There was one that just came out a few years ago on mobile. So now you can play Leisure Suit Larry on your phone. Gizzard says all our teams are horrible. Obviously, no Dodger fans here. My team's got a winning record, so like I said, I don't know how long it's going to last.
It's early.
I don't know who they've lost to. They lost one to the Reds, once to them, and twice to the Mets.
Better feed your cat.
No, he just has a motor mouth. Then he says Victory Plus also does the high school championship in Texas. Talking about football, I'm guessing. Yeah, high school football, he said. Yeah, high school football is like a religion in Texas. If what you see on TV is to be believed. People get pretty crazy for high school football in southwestern Pennsylvania too, but not as bad as Texas. Like we don't have games televised like in growing up in Pittsburgh like they do with the high school games in Texas. Oh, excuse me. And Penguins won again today. I watched that game. First time I actually sat down and watched a hockey game in a couple of years. They beat up on Florida Panthers. Five to two, if I remember, it was the final. They beat them 9-4 yesterday. Patriot says definitely not enough coverage of on world class ping pong. Not since ESPN started doing the major sports back in the 80s, because that used to be something you could find on ESPN all the time. It was like ping pong and stuff like that. Before they started really getting the where they had football games and baseball games on there. They always had all the other type of sports stuff on there. But that's where you could watch like Australian rules football and stuff back in the day. And
I never did understand that game. It's weird.
hmm
Like a combination of football and rugby.
That basically, it's basically what it is.
And
hmm
goalposts all over the damn place on a square field.
hmm Moo wants us to discuss the pistol brace thing. Well, I haven't heard any new developments on it, so I don't know what to talk about it. But
He should get on here.
there's some speculation that that may be one of the reasons why Pam Bondi was replaced this week, because she wasn't uh, doing enough for the Second Amendment like Trump wanted her to do. That was one of the speculations I saw, and a couple other things that he wanted her to do that she wasn't.
With the pistol braces, the ATF had said what basically there are some. It's going around on the YouTube. The bigger channels are saying that even though they're not enforcing the pistol brace, that they're going to enforce the pistol brace, which wasn't. It was a misrepresentation of what was going on. There has always been a rule. Well, I can't even say that because they've gone back and forth about shouldering a pistol brace. And that's what they were saying they're going to maybe still enforce, is you can't shoulder it. But it's being lumped in with every pistol, when they were saying that every pistol brace was illegal. I don't know if that's what Moo was talking about.
Yeah, I think we discussed it last week, or I discussed it because I didn't have a panel last week. But I think I talked about that last week, and that's what they were doing. So I don't know if Moo. I didn't know if Moo had seen something new, because I haven't seen anything beyond that this week. So I don't know.
Who says he's in bed? He can't join us. Sounds lame.
Bed. It's only 10:30. Moo. What the hell? Patriot and Dark says midget wrestlers are posers. He's all about the true midget tossing. Who also says he totally doesn't have any braces. I can safely say that I do not have an AR-15 that has a pistol brace on it. And be completely and totally honest, I do not own an AR-15 with a pistol brace.
So you have an illegally manufactured SBR.
No, I have a legally manufactured SBR. Who says he's old and lame? Then he says he's not far behind him. It's bedtime. 5 a.m. comes early. Okay, have a good night, Denny.
Well,
Be
Moo's
safe and
a time zone behind us all. So
yeah, be safe in them there oil fields.
Well, I filled up my vehicle yesterday. That should help out some.
Hmm. People throwing a fit about gas prices. They're still lower than what they were under Biden.
What did I? Last time I filled up. Let's see if I still have the picture. If I erased it, think it was $5.09.
Wow.
That was with a
Jeez.
discount.
Wow. It's only like $3 here.
Mine was $3.39 with a 10-cent discount.
Yeah, it was $5.09
Wow.
for regular with a 10-cent discount.
Now, you didn't accidentally get diesel, did you?
No, I remember when diesel was cheaper than
Mm-hmm.
regular
Mhm.
gasoline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That used to be the case. And diesel, from everything I've heard, is cheaper to manufacture. And yet it costs more.
Line demand.
Mm-hmm. Moose said it's $3.89 a gallon there. Wow. Packard says the same price there.
It has hit $5 here before, but that was God, at least 10 years ago, I think.
Rob's saying he's seen a lot of people saying gas stations are running scams, that a gallon might not be an actual gallon.
That's been around forever.
Mm.
The station will have a switch, and it'll change the way it's computed in the machine. And sometimes it'll just be like a nickel, basically a nickel off every transaction, which doesn't seem like a lot unless you're doing a lot of transactions.
Moose says he had a diesel Ford Escort 5-speed when he was in college. It was $1 a gallon 105 years ago. Yeah, he put the 105 years ago. I did not add that. I'm just reading. I'm just reading. Rob says it was $3.99 yesterday when he filled up. Patriot says last time he filled up a car it was $1.23 a gallon. Ah, the good old days. I remember when gas was 99 cents a gallon and my father was throwing a temper tantrum because it was 99 cents because of Jimmy Carter.
Oh, I remember this is back kind of when I first started driving that I passed up a gas station where it was, I don't know, it was like 89 cents a gallon because that was too much. So I could get it for like 88 cents at the station down the road.
Mm-hmm. Rob says he can remember $1.09 gas.
I think Gary can probably remember having to go to the apothecary to
Mm-hmm.
get gasoline. Or well, to get the white gas for his.
White gas, yeah.
Mm.
For the lamps, yeah, you'd have to have that.
Don't forget your blinker fluid. And let's not forget they've totally screwed up diesels with this DEF or whatever the hell it is you got to put in with them. That shit'll kill it. I forget. Was it my show last week talking about that? That shit'll kill your engine block. Or was that no, that was on Gary's After Chat, I think. Me and
Yeah, it was my show. Yeah.
that shit'll kill your engine.
That's urine.
Mm-hmm.
DEF is urine. When they cut sulfur out of the diesel, does the sulfur help lubricate the engines?
Packard says he remembered his dad going ballistic over 50 cents a gallon. Rob says he'd think he was dreaming if it was $1. Yeah, you're too young to remember cheap gas below $1, Rob. Who says he remembers 39 cents a gallon? I don't remember gas being 39 cents, but I don't remember what the cheapest price I've ever seen was.
Well, you're just a kid.
I know it was below $1. I just don't remember what it was. That was a long time ago. I mean, I was just a kid at the time. Packer says he can remember giving gas station 20 and getting change back. Yeah. A $5 bill would get you a half to a quarter tank of gas back in the 90s. I mean,
When I was in high school, I would use my lunch money to buy gas instead of eating lunch.
mm-hmm. I just started skipping school lunches because I couldn't stand the school's food and I didn't feel like eating pizza every day. You either eat the school lunch or buy one of the little pizzas. That's what our cafeteria had. I mean, you literally could use one of the damn cheeseburgers as a freaking hockey puck. Those things were tough as hell. It was like eating a piece of leather. Moose says he skipped lunch to smoke pot. Well, wouldn't that want you to make you want to eat lunch? Smoke the pot and then go eat lunch?
I don't know. I didn't go hungry. There's one of the kids I hung out with would always give me his fries during lunch. And I found out later he would give me his fries so we would hang out because the people that picked on him were afraid of me.
So basically, you were being paid French fries to be a bodyguard, and you just didn't know it.
Yeah, I didn't like bullies anyway, so. And I was basically full grown at 16. So I just
Hmm.
put on a little muscle as I got a little older, but
When I was in 8th grade, my best friend was already 6'4". By the time we got to 12th grade, he was like 6'7". Picture in Dark says, "Who needed to eat lunch when you can have a couple of lemon heads?" And not, I didn't mean the meme, Moo. Misty's not even here. Those of you who watch Ron Wayne's members only chat will get the reference. Moo said 6'7" as in the meme. I was speaking as in 6'7" but yeah. Moo's gonna moo.
I had a friend that was I don't know if he was 6'3" or 6'4", something like that. But he only had size 10 feet. So he had really bad balance.
Wow. Yeah, that is odd. Did his feet ever grow to match his body? Or did he always have small feet for his size?
I couldn't tell you.
I don't know what the heck to talk about now. What else we have to talk about? Anything?
Well, it's your chat.
Hmm?
It's your chat.
You're allowed to contribute. Jeez.
If you had a bracket, you wouldn't have to worry about this.
Yeah. Let's see. Next few games, the Pirates have a 3-game stand against the Padres at home. Then they go on the road against the Cubs, and then they host the Nationals at home.
Woods is out there.
Hello, Woods. Pack Rat said they had a guy in ROTC that wore 16 shoes.
When I went the first time I went to Japan, I didn't know if I'd get stared at just because I was 6 foot, not super tall, but taller than the average Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody stared at my feet, so I wore size 12 shoes. I was at Tokyo Disneyland, waiting in line for one of the rides, and there's a group of girls pointing at my shoes and laughing. My mother-in-law measured my shoes.
She measured your shoes.
Yep, took out a tape measure and measured them.
You know what they say, big feet.
Big shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Mm-hmm.
I technically I wear 11 and a half wide, but it's easier to find size 12, so I just usually buy size 12 double E's.
Depends on what brand. Some brands I wear a size 12, and other brands I have to have a size 13 because of the way they make them. Because they're not really uniform like you'd think they would be. A size 12 in one brand is not the same as a size 12 in another, or a size 13 in another.
I always buy New Balance just because I know I can find wide in the size I need for New Balance.
Rich
Like-
probably buys Birkenstock.
No.
Buster Browns.
My current shoes are Skechers with the Goodyear sole on them. It literally says Goodyear in yellow, like Goodyear Eagles.
Pack Rat wanted to know where in Japan. My mother-in-law is, what is she, like 2 hours southwest? Is it southwest of Tokyo? Yamanashi Prefecture.
No, I do not have either of those barbecue. Amy's got a pair of Hey Dudes. She loves them.
I happen to own a pair of Hey Dudes. Thank you very much.
I wanted to get a pair that they had that looked like a ugly Christmas sweater, but didn't have the money at the time. They wanted like $90 for them. It was like, Jesus. But they were really cool looking. It looked just like an ugly Christmas sweater. You know? Woods wants to know what's the weirdest caliber you have a gun for. I just have standard calibers. I don't really have any weird things unless you want to call 224 Valkyrie weird. That would be the closest to a weird caliber I guess I would have. How about you guys? Anything super weird or anything?
No.
I don't know. 357 Sig isn't that weird. 22 Magnum, that's pretty common too.
You got 30 super carry.
That's true. It is true. I forgot about that. You're right.
So would that qualify as weird or just never really?
It's trendy. It's trendy.
There's only two companies that make a gun in Chamberlain in that. So.
Well, I have one.
Was it Smith and Wesson and shoot, trying to remember which one of the high end 1911 companies it was. It wasn't Wilson Combat, but it was, what's the other one that's in the same area as Wilson
Nighthawk?
Combat? Yeah, Nighthawk. That's who it was. Nighthawk and Smith and Wesson were the only ones who made a gun in that, chambered in that. I don't know if Nighthawk still makes theirs chambered in that or not.
I can go to the range and nobody will ask to borrow any of my ammo if I'm shooting 30 super carry. Probably won't pick up my brass either.
I would.
I'm trying to remember which Nighthawk pistol it was that came in that. Yeah.
According to the Google, it says Nighthawk 1911s.
Handgun Magazine said it was the GRP 1911. Nighthawk says it's the President pistol. So, but it's not listed as being a 30 super carry. I don't on their website, so I don't know.
Someday everybody will be carrying 30 super carry, but I can
There's
say I got
also
in early.
there's also Avidity Arms PD10.
30 super carry?
Yep. Comes in 9 and 30 super carry.
Interesting.
Looks kind of like an FN to me.
Now, apparently, the GRP is no longer available on 30 super carry. Only in 9 and 45. Which will make barbecue happy that it's in 9 millimeter. If you know how barbecue loves those 1911s in 9 millimeter. His favorite gun, isn't it?
It'll be either that or 44 Magnum.
Now, according to when you go to the Caliber and their custom options, you can still get the GRP in 30 super carry. It just costs you $100 more. You can also get it in 10 millimeter for $100 more. It's not a standard offering anymore. You got to get it you got to custom order it in 30 super carry. And yeah, it's $100 more, which means it goes from 3,800 to 3,900. What shuttle, Rob? Anyone want to make gentlemen's bets on if the shuttle will survive the landing? What shuttle? What the hell's he talking about? Talking about the Artemis spacecraft? Barbecue, that's entirely possible. Well, at one time, because as far as I know, she's in a nursing home now. But Wood says, so guns are cool, just saying. Patron Dark's asking for 12 gauge shotguns that are any good bullpup designs. Well, are you wanting semi-auto, pump? What kind of what action are we talking about? 'Cause the KSG is not bad. My son had one. I shot it. He never shot it, and then he sold it because he didn't want. He watched me and the range officer at the range we go to shoot it, and he was like, "Oh, I don't want to." And he sold it because his manager. He sold it to his manager at Walmart. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good for a little bullpup pump action design.
G23 loves his.
Mm-hmm. They even have the longer barrel version. Was it the KS30 or something like that? It's a 30-inch barrel for use in waterfowl and stuff like Moo was just talking about. But semi-auto, I honestly, I don't know. Tavor, I've heard people say that Tavor 12 isn't bad. I've never shot one, so I couldn't tell you. KSG had a pretty good trigger on it. I mean, it wasn't bad for a shotgun trigger. They got the smaller version, the KS7 that only holds 7 rounds instead of the 14 plus 1 of the KSG. So it's a little lighter. You're not carrying around 15 rounds loaded, fully loaded. That's going to make it a little lighter. Basically, instead of having two magazine tubes, it only has one. So it's cool with the KSG with the 2 magazine tubes. You can actually carry 2 types of ammunition in it. You have one tube loaded with birdshot and the other one loaded with buckshot. One tube loaded with slugs, the other one with buckshot. However you want to do it. And like I said, the trigger's not bad. Of course, I'm talking of sample size of 1, but yeah, it worked pretty. It was pretty nice. But yeah, that's the only bullpup shotgun that I have any experience with. So.
The only ones I've ever seen up close was the escorts. Somebody had ordered them and it was sitting in the back room of the gun shop, and I was looking at it, but never shot one.
I think it was Firearms Blog. James Reeves had a video on their alternate channel, not their main channel, but the other one, where he was over at one of those European gun shows that goes on after shot, and they had he was at a booth that had a 12 gauge Steyr AUG, which was kind of interesting. Packrat says most shotguns don't need good triggers. Barbecue's just mad he can't get his phone to work with Rumble.
I'll say I am loving my lever action shotgun.
What one do you got?
I have the Cimarron.
Based on the old Winchester.
Yeah, the 1887.
Yeah, those are nice. We're just asking, is Escort a Turkish shotty? I believe so. He says he thinks he has one. My son has a one of the Turkish shotguns. I forget which one, and it's not bad. It does the job that it's supposed to do. I just don't remember which one it is he has.
Kind of hard to screw up a shotgun. It's a tube with a trigger.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've seen companies screw up a shotgun though. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. It shouldn't be something that companies do, but I've seen them do it. I want one of the new Mossbergs that they just released this year. Actually, I want two of the new ones. I want the new 990, I think they called it. And then I want one of the new 590s. Those were nice. The 990 is basically a 940, but they changed the action to where it works better as a shortened shot, as a short barrel. You can get it as configured as a shockwave or as a SBS. They're really nice. Woods asks, how much cooler are lever guns than regular guns? He's not saying they're better. He's just asking how much cooler are they. There's just something cool about a lever gun. I mean, that's especially one that's got the wood furniture and stuff on it.
Oh, I bought two more. One in 45 Colt and just a little Henry Golden Boy 22.
Yeah, right now the only lever gun I got's the Henry Classic 22, the blued version. Basically the same one Ron Wayne has, only without all the fancy custom engraving on it.
Oh, I sold or traded 11 guns, and I'm bringing back 7.
I think that's a net loss.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's part of the reducing quantity and increasing quality. I ended up not reducing as much as I wanted to, but it worked out in the end. Because I'm getting some nice stuff back. I'm gonna go next weekend. I bought a Colt Kodiak.
Those are nice.
It is, oh my god, the nicest revolver I've ever seen. I have not been able to see, the real high end stuff like Korth or Van Uren, but it is buttery smooth. Got this Cimarron lever action, the Henry, Kimber Camp Guard. I just ordered that, so it's going to be a while before I get that.
Mm-hmm.
That lever shotgun. Something I don't even remember. But I basically shifted a lot of budget to medium guns to get medium or better.
Kodiak, that's the one that's in 44, right?
Yeah, that's the Anaconda.
Yeah.
With it, basically the only difference is no fluting and it's ported. I got the 6-inch.
I wish they would have used that frame for the 357 version and made it an 8-shot to compete with Smith & Wesson's end frame, the 627. But they didn't
I do
do
too.
that.
It'd be a lot easier to find a freaking holster for it.
Mm-hmm. What kind of holster you wanting? Leather?
Yeah, I think if I get one, I'll probably end up just getting a chest rig for it. I don't know. I found some really awesome grips, engraved grips for them with a bear on it,
Mm-hmm.
and they're $245
Mm.
for grips. So
If you're looking for a holster, there's a company out of North Carolina, MTR Leatherworks, Custom Leatherworks, something along those lines. I've dealt with them before, and they're a good company. I like the holster I have from them.
I don't. I want to find. I'm kind of debating. Do I get what I really want, which is a custom holster with a bear paw,
Mm-hmm.
or just get a holster that looks nice that serves its purpose?
Yeah,
That
they
isn't as expensive.
they do. They don't just use like cowhide. They have more exotic leathers too that they can make stuff out of. They're nice people. They're really nice people. I've met them face to face and talked to them, and they're really nice people. But they do all kinds of different leather holsters. They subcontract their Kydex, but they do all the leather holsters themselves. Barbecue says he just bought a 1791 holster for his M&P 2.0 and 10 millimeter.
I really like the 1791 holsters. I've had a couple of them.
I've got a couple craft holsters, but those bastards won't email me back anymore. So they changed their marketing division, and now they're ghosting me. Like, shit. Moo says he has a Diamond D leather chest rig for his Smith & Wesson 44 Magnum.
Yeah, I was looking at their website. I want to order some. They sell the little leather strips for the lever actions for the loops. I'm thinking about buying a couple of those to put on mine.
The MTR holster I have is a quick draw style. I'm thinking about putting a old school Western loop like you would put over the hammer for retention, like they used to do on the old school holsters back in the Western days.
I had almost bought Desert Eagle in 50 AE, but nobody had it in stock. So I did what was probably the smarter choice, was getting that Colt instead, getting the Kodiak.
Patriots asking, so how many holsters in total do you have? Estimates? Maybe 10. I don't tend to keep holsters I don't use laying around like some people do. Like Ghost is always saying, we all have a whole drawer full of holsters. No. What if I don't like a holster, I'll find somebody else that needs a holster for a particular gun and give it to them to see if they like it, or sell it to them for a little bit if they feel they have to pay me for it. I don't tend to keep holsters I don't use just laying around. I don't know about you guys, but that's.
I don't know. I'd have to count them. I know I have 7. I have an Aussie holster too, but I'd have to find them all and count them. But at least 7.
Who says he has 2 file cabinets full of holsters? Yeah, see, I tend to move them along to somebody who might maybe find somebody who might actually need it, especially if it's one that I'm not going to use. It's just going to sit here collecting dust. Why keep it? Packrat said that he saw that that hidden hybrid rather is now doing weight bearing holsters. Pedro said he has like 2 large totes full of them, maybe 5 to 10 per gun. 5 to 6 per gun rather. Mood says he's got 50 to 60 holsters. Well, Moo, I only have one I'm not using right now. And honestly, it's not, I really didn't like it. At first I did, but then I started to not. It's cheap DeSantis, I think. What is it? DeSantis, yeah. DeSantis tuck for the P365. It started getting a bit uncomfortable to use. It's one of those minimalist Kydex holsters. Turn my camera on and show you what I'm talking about. Oh, my camera's not working. Yay! Why is my camera not working? Because it's telling it to use my phone. Okay, that's odd. Now my camera's still not working. Why isn't my camera working? Okay, there we go. But yeah, see, this holster here, I really didn't like it that much. When I was using it, after like a month or so of using it, it just got annoying. Especially when sitting in a car, because this part here would dig into my side and it just wasn't comfortable. Yeah, this is the only holster I got that I'm not using for anything. How about you, Gary?
What about me?
How many holsters you got laying around?
Total? Oh God, I got a whole box full of them up in my closet that I'm not using. I lost count a long time ago.
Barbecue says he's got 9. Number 8 is a surplus holster for his CZ82, and number 9 is a surplus 1911 holster. Patriot says his aren't bedazzled. He also says he has a few in brown. I don't think any of my holsters are brown. I think they're all black. Most of them are leather. I got a couple of Kydex, but most of them are leather.
I have Kydex for semi-autos, leather for 1911s, and revolvers.
Ow. This one for my P365 kind of is a hybrid. It's a leather over Kydex, but it's got the leather lining inside, and it's got the neoprene backing on it for padding. I hate the clip on it.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's like I don't like the clip that much because it's got like a little bit of a sharp edge, depending on what angle you hit. I've actually cut myself on the clip, but damn, the holster itself is comfortable as hell. What were you going to say?
I was going to say I do have a leather holster for my 40-06. It's an old duty holster, so it's leather. Got a cop holster for my cop gun.
Makes sense. Patriot says he probably should start a holster adoption program. Yeah, move them along, man. Find somebody else who can use it. I mean, that's what I usually do. I mean, that one I just got laying around because I just don't feel like giving it to somebody and then have them not like it because I didn't like that holster at all. So I didn't want to just throw a holster that I absolutely can't stand to somebody else and have them then complain to me because they didn't like it either after the fact. Usually, when the holster that I've given to somebody, it's a nice holster. It's just I had others that I liked better, so I just pass on the other holster to somebody else. That one's the first holster I've gotten where I just cannot stand it, and I'm not passing on that lemon to somebody else, basically. Now, Packrat's asking, what do you think about belly bands? Never used one. Can't give you an honest opinion. I've never used one. You guys ever used one?
Nope.
No.
I've thought about getting one and trying it, but I've never used one, so I really can't give you any feedback on that one. Lou says, personally, he doesn't like them. I wonder if we got anybody ever watching over on X. Oh, yeah, we got 6 people watching on X. Cool. Hello, people on X. That's the one thing with the new beta studio, the X counter stopped working again. Barbecue says he keeps holsters he likes and will pass along holsters he can't stand. The key is doing it for free, then they can't bitch. Packrat says if I want one, he'll send one I got in a tack pack. What, belly band holster? Is that what you're talking about, Packrat? I thought about trying one for like when I'm wearing gym shorts or something, but then the holster I just showed actually works with the gym shorts I have because they're actually made for concealed carry. It pisses me off. GovX doesn't make them anymore, so I can't get any more. They stopped doing their in-house stuff, and that was one of the things that they did with their in-store brand. For those of you who don't know, GovX is something that's available to military, law enforcement, veterans, and whatnot. It's a specialty kind of store where we get discounts over the standard pricing at other places. Basically, think of it like Sam's Club for military, police, uh, first responders, veterans, that kind of thing. But they used to have a really good in-house brand of stuff, but they don't do it anymore. So, yeah. What's it for, low pack rack? Because depending on what gun it is, I probably couldn't use it. But I tried just to do a video on it for honestly. I mean, that's content.
The one complaint I've heard, I've never tried one, but the one complaint I've heard is sometimes when you sit down, it can push the gun up out of the band.
Wonder if that can be is based on how they make it. 'Cause I've seen different ones where they covered a gun differently. Where some of them it's a full holster, and some of them it's just like one of those open things where half the slide sticking at the bottom of it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like the video from Goals 2 years ago that Amy had me do with the lady who did the concealed carry clothes for women. She had one that she made in her brand, and it's got a full holster on it. It basically covers like what standard uh, inside the waistband holster would cover. Packrat says they also can roll. Guess he's talking about the band itself because basically it's just like a neoprene weight belt like you would use for work as a back support for when you're lifting stuff. Basically what it is with a holster stuck on it. He also says, and they are hot. Yeah, I bet they are. But some of them now have almost like a screen material that they use so that it vents and doesn't hold body heat in as bad. There was one. Who was it? Damn it. The holster company begins with a C, the big one.
Craft?
No, not Kraft. Shit.
It doesn't start with a C.
Huh?
I said shit doesn't start with a C unless you're saying
No.
chit.
No. But anyway, can't remember the name of the company right now. I'm doing great with names tonight. But they had
Crossbreed?
one. They had, huh? Yeah, Crossbreed. That's it. They had one at Great American Outdoor Show, which it was almost like screen material, but it was a fabric, but it was porous like a screen is. You know what I mean? And the idea is that it's not supposed to hold your body heat in. The only place where it was more of a solid neoprene is where the holster itself attached to it, and you could slide that along the band itself. That one actually looked pretty interesting when I was looking at it, but it was also expensive. They wanted like $200 for it at the show. I don't know if they got it on their website for that price, but that's what they wanted. That's what the price was marked at the show on it. Like, yeah, I'm gonna pass on that. Yep, Patriots heading out for the night. So, all right, Patriot, have a good night, buddy. Good seeing you out there.
Yeah, I think I'm going to jump out.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to wrap this up anyway. We've been going for 2 hours. So, yeah. Anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
Nope, not a goddamn thing.
That's right, because you don't do a show no more. All right. Well, thanks for jumping on, man. Appreciate it. But you, Gizzard,
What about me?
anything you want to plug?
Besides Dan Foss's channel, let's see. Yeah, I've got a live stream tomorrow night on Falter or on Gizzard Gary channel. It's called Foul Territory, 9 p.m. Central. So love to have everybody there. And check out my videos. I've got some new Olight videos. I know all you guys love Olight. So anyway, thanks for the invite. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh, Patriot drops a plug out there too. He said on Tuesday he's dropping a blind guy video that might help you guys out. And he says, just saying. So yeah, if you're not subbed to Patron of Dark's channel, why not go sub the Patron of Dark and watch for his video on Tuesday. He does some cool stuff. All right. And on that note, we will bid you all adieu for this week, and we'll probably be seeing you tomorrow night on Gizzard's show. So until then, have a good night and stay safe out there. We'll catch you all later.